After the space crash of about 7%, right? What happened? It seemed like, oh, now everybody is selling. Well, in the end, they delivered all of what they said they would. They had some delays. They flew Richard Branson. They every 4 weeks will send passengers into space, okay? Very good morning. After the space crash of about 7%, right? What happened? We discussed that in my last stream, last night, right? Let me know in the comments below if you have seen the stream. If not, make sure to subscribe and like. And the stock just lost about 7%. It seemed like, oh, now everybody is selling, right? The big investors are selling, the lockup period is over. Well, that's not really the case, right? We will talk about that. But before that, before that 7% drop and all what happens after that, as you see, after hours, the stock went already 1% up. I think slowly but surely we are reaching a bottom here, and the earnings are very, very close. On the 8th of November are the earnings, guys, okay? And I can imagine that this could be a very bullish effect on the stock, but who knows? Let's have a look on an Instagram message, actually. And if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, this is my Instagram, Wolf of Dubai Danny. Make sure to follow me. I am getting this message from Michael, and it's showing you the mindset that you need to know, okay? If you feel like, oh, what should I do? What is the vision of Virgin Galactic? Just go on the website. And he found something very interesting. He said, hey, Danny, nice to meet you. I just want to highlight one point in Virgin Galactic missions. Whether that be transporting passengers to Earth orbiting hotels or science laboratories, or providing a world shrinking transcontinental service, which is, the Delta wing later on, point-to-point travel, from London to New York in 1.5 hours instead of 7 or 8 or 9. At Virgin Galactic, we will always be striving to open space to change the world for good. Okay, that's the mission on the website. So that's incredible. I have read Virgin Galactic website many times, but for some reason I never paid attention to this topic. I mean, okay, Delta mission is already very cool plan, but just imagine they will not be limited to crossing the edge of space. They will be having ideas for delivering people to orbiting hotels and laboratories. Oh my God, it's like very useful input for me. Just take my money and give me more shares. That's the mindset that I'm looking for to trigger in people. If this is an investment for you, very high risk by a very, very high reward, you will find through all of this negative news always this bit and piece that say, in the end, they delivered all of what they said they would, right? They had some delays, but they basically have all the flights in the test flight program. They flew Richard Branson a little bit later, but they flew him. And now they were going to do the maintenance. They're doing it earlier as than expected. And then they will do the Italian Air Force flight. And then they every 4 weeks will send passengers into space, okay? So it's a very long-term, great opportunity. Here you can see it, whether that would be transporting passengers to Earth orbiting hotels or science laboratories or providing a world shrinking transcontinental service. At Virgin Galactic, we will always be striving to open space to change the world for good, okay? So this is from Virgin Galactic. I said that's what I'm talking about. It's a long-term play that will be huge, okay? I believe that, if the news that brought the Virgin Galactic stock down, that, as you can see in this tweet, that Blue Origin plans to make a whole new space station, then I can imagine that not only Blue Origin will send people up there, but also Virgin Galactic at some point, okay? But that now put to the side. Let's talk about the lockup period. That is not the case of the crash until now, and let's see what happens there. So there was a lot of FUD for space also prior to the end of October period, right? Because there was the end of lockup period, which is usually a period that the stock can be quite volatile because big investors can sell the shares 2 years after the IPO and the de-spec basically on the stock exchange. They are able now to sell a couple of shares, and this was also a reason why a lot of news outlets talked about that. Here, for example, Seeking Alpha said Virgin Galactic could face near-term selling pressure due to a lock-up period. Here you can see that Morgan Stanley, for example, said Morgan Stanley keeps an underweight rating on Virgin Galactic, lowers its price target to $17, which we are very close already. And Morgan Stanley also warns on potential downwards pressure on the stock as the lockup period ends 25 of October. The number of shares existing there in their lockup period is material, making about 28% of all shares outstanding and 38% of all free floating trading shares. In our view, there is potential for another material move lower in the stock given the number of shares existing the lockup period. Also, investor positioning looks to be bearish in the near term given short interest on the stock sits about 11.3%. Yeah, but if you are thinking then, okay, usually then on the 25th, on the 26th, on the 27th, there should be a lot of SEC filings. Well, until now, you know, as I woke up this morning, there's just one. And it's by one of a guy that we know sells a lot of shares already every month because to cover, or every now and then, a quarterly or whatsoever, is Mike Moses, the chief, let's say, over the whole engineering and mission safety department for Virgin Galactic. Really the one of the highest guys in the project management side, I would say, right? His wife is always, Beth Moses is always flying up with the guys. So yeah, he's actually one of the senior guys there, and he's always selling a couple of shares. Here again, he sold about almost $1 million of shares. Also, he had stated that you know, those are restricted stock units granted on the 25th of October, and he sold them. And he said that represents the number of shares of common stock withheld by the issuer to cover reporting persons' tax withholding obligations upon vesting 25% of the RSUs granted on the 25th of October 2020. So he got some shares, or vested some shares, because they achieved some milestones with the company. You know, some senior guys in Virgin Galactic have some milestones to hit, then they get more shares, and he want to cover some personal tax, and that's why he's selling. Okay, so nothing to worry about there. So basically, we have the lockup period over, but nobody is selling, which is a good sign, guys, okay? Don't let the big media worry you or make you feel a little bit, you know, insecure. Like Michael, who sent me the message this morning, you know, be open-minded, look for things. It's really, really super, super rewarding if this thing works out, and I have a good feeling about it. My research has a very good feeling about it, and I cannot wait to be here with you and say, you know, we said that Virgin Galactic will have a price of $100 per share or whatever it will be in the near future. So I cannot wait. I hope you let me know in the comments below what you think. You can always text me on Instagram. And with that said, I wish you a fantastic Thursday, and tomorrow more with Virgin Galactic Friday.